Hello and welcome to Post, the channel where we discuss all things hockey and all teams. I got my Jets jersey on. It is super baggy on me. It's a large, but I haven't worn it in a while, so I thought I'd wear it for you guys, all you Jets fans out there. I got my Lightning hat on, just got that. I love this hat. So in this video, I thought we'd talk about some goalies, and they don't get talked about enough. And I wanted to look at the list of goalies of all time in the top 100 with the most wins. So, but I only want to talk about active goalies. So I'm talking about goalies that are playing in the NHL right now. And out of the 100 top list of all time, 20 of the 100 are right now playing in the NHL. So I'm going to go through the list from top to bottom, from the most wins to the least wins of those 20. I'm going to tell you where in the top 100 that they fall. I'm going to give you the games played. I'm going to give you how many wins they have. And then I'm going to give you some extra stats at the bottom as far as who has the best GAA, goals against average, save percentage, shutouts, assists, and penalty minutes. I bet you a couple of things in there was going to surprise you. So first, let's start at the top. And it would be insane not to talk about this guy right away because it's Roberto Luongo. He's played 970 games. He has 454 wins. Regardless of how you feel about Luongo, whether you love him or whether you hate him, first of all, you have to love him for his Twitter handle. If you're not following Luongo on Twitter, you got to do it. It's a must. Get her done, pitter patter, let's get at her. Make sure you go follow him. He's hilarious. But whether you hate him or whether you like him, he is a guy who is just been really consistent his entire career. He always has played very well. And he's had success in Florida, and he's had success in Vancouver. He's a locker room guy. All the guys love him. And from as far as what I've read about him and stuff in interviews, people love Luongo. So it's really great to see him at the top of this list. I think he's pretty underrated. He's been in the league a long time, and he doesn't get as much love as he deserves. And he's seated in 4th position. In 9th position is Henrik Lundqvist. He's played 752 games, 408 wins. And Lundqvist is on the last kind of decline of his career. I don't know how many years he has left, probably 4 or 5. I'd say 5 at the most. But man, he's still putting up the numbers, which is great. Number 15, or a bit of a jump here, Marc-Andre Fleury, 695 games played, 378 wins. Very impressive. One of the most successful goalies in the past 10 years for sure. Number 19 on this list, it might surprise you a little bit, Ryan Miller, 710 games played, 359 wins. That's a guy who has played for, I don't want to say unsuccessful teams, but teams that aren't powerhouses. So he's had to really work hard to get his numbers where they are. 32 on this list. Another big jump, we have Cam Ward. I bet that's going to surprise a few people too. 627 games played, 296 wins. One Stanley Cup for Cam Ward. Great things. Just behind him in 33 is Kari Lehtinen. 616 games played, 296 wins. So I guess they're tied, him and Cam Ward, for 32nd place. But I bet that surprised a few people too. And 41st is Pekka Rinne. 517 games played, 274 wins. We'll see him skyrocket up this list. 42 is Carey Price. 519 games played, 273 wins. So Pekka Rinne has played less games and has more wins than Carey Price. I bet you didn't know that. In 47th place, we have Jonathan Quick, 502 games played, 267 wins. In 56, I bet you this will surprise you too. Craig Anderson, 515 games played, 242 wins. I wouldn't have pegged Craig Anderson to be in the top 100, but man, he's there, and that surprised the heck out of me. Not surprising that he's bad. He's a good goalie. It's just surprising that he's played that many games. 64, Antti Niemi, 427 games played, 227 wins. Lots of Finns on here. We got Kari Lehtinen, we got Pekka Rinne, Antti Niemi, and I think there's another one coming up down the list. So yeah, good to see. 68, we have Corey Crawford, 392 games played, 220 wins. Not surprising there. Very, very good goalie. 71, we have Yaroslav Halak, 403 games played, 217 wins. That surprises me a bit. Halak is a great goalie, but he's kind of been bounced around the league a little bit. So I'm impressed that he's actually played that many games. 78th is Tuukka Rask, 401 games played, 205 wins. That guy is an absolute monster for Boston. He's done amazing things. We'll talk about him a bit later. Number 80, Jimmy Howard, 411 games played, 204 wins, just behind Tuukka Rask. 82 is Mike Smith, 485 games played, 201 wins. So Mike Smith has played roughly 70 more games than Jimmy Howard and has less wins. But Mike Smith has played for Arizona for basically his entire career, I believe. So that's a tough spot to be in because Arizona has definitely struggled, unfortunately. 83, we have Steve Mason, 467 games played, 200 wins on the dot. And obviously these numbers will change because we're in the middle of the season now. So if you're watching this video a month from now, these positions will have changed a little bit. But the numbers are still applicable, I guess. 86, Braden Holtby, 315 games played, 199 wins. That's a name that's going to skyrocket up this list, let's be real. Number 89, Brian Elliott, 381 games played, 196 wins. And last on our list in the top 100 is Sergei Bobrovsky, 339 games played, 188 wins. And he's going to skyrocket up this list as well. So I'm interested to go back and do this video in maybe a year's time and see the changes and see where people jumped from, and we'll see what new names have kind of entered the top 100. It's going to be interesting because there's some big goalie names that I didn't name here in the top 100 that you probably would have guessed would have been in here. Now, if you move on down to goals against average, out of all the people I named, who do you think over their career has the best goals against average? Well, it's Tuukka Rask. He has a 2.25 goals against average, and that is the best out of all-time active goalies, which is awesome. So who has the best save percentage? Who do you think it is? It's Tuukka Rask. It is 0.922. So Tuukka Rask is leading the goals against average and the save percentage. That's awesome to see. Actually, there is a tie here. Corey Schneider also has a 0.922, and Braden Holtby has a 0.922. So there's a three-way tie there for top save percentage. But, I mean, really, you could give it to Tuukka Rask because he's tied for first, and, man, that's impressive. So who's had the most shutouts? Well, it's not... I wouldn't really call it a shock, but the guy's played a lot of games, so he's had much more opportunity to get shutouts, and that's Roberto Luongo. Out of Roberto Luongo's 454 wins, 73 of them have been shutouts. That's really impressive. It's not Martin Brodeur 160 shutouts or whatever he's at, but still impressive. Assists. Now, we don't really, this is a stat that's just silly. No one cares if goalies get assists, but it's just so fun to talk about. Who do you think has had the most assists of all the names? It's Kari Lehtinen. He's got 28 assists, and I think he leads that by quite a bit. I think the next goalie has 22. I can't remember who it is, but it's impressive. And then penalty minutes to round this off. Now, there are some names that I've read off that you could say, okay, yeah, he's got a bit of an attitude. I could see him getting some penalty minutes. And you can probably guess this one. It is Mike Smith. He's got 111 penalty minutes. Pretty shocking there. And that's well above and beyond anyone else. I think second place is in the high 50s maybe. So Mike Smith, you've been bad. But that was pretty fun to go through. I love looking at statistics, and especially over a person's career. I always find that really interesting. What did you guys find interesting on this list? What name really shocked you? What position shocked you? Who do you think is going to crack this top 100 that I haven't named? Who do you think is maybe going to fall off of this list eventually? Steve Mason's a name that probably might fall down in a couple of years. There's some really great goalies just on the outside of 100 that could come up and push Steve Mason out. Who knows? I'm really interested to hear your thoughts on this, and who's your favorite goalie on this list that I named? I'd be interested to hear that as well. Thank you guys very much for watching. I really appreciate it. And I did a similar video to this. It was actually the very first video on this channel. I talked about the players, the active players with the most points, I think, or something like that, in the top 250. So that was the very first video on this channel. If you haven't seen it, don't go watch it because it's terrible. Everyone's first video is always terrible, and mine definitely was. It's quite embarrassing. So, but anyways, interesting topic here for the goalies. Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you're new to this channel, hit the subscribe button. If you like this video, hit the like button, and we will see you in the next video. Adios.